Cruise ship snacks most passengers don't know exist. Between breakfast and lunch, between lunch and dinner, and especially between dinner and midnight, there are hours on a cruise ship where most passengers do one of two things. They either go hungry because they think the only options are the buffet and the dining room, or they spend $8 to $12 at the specialty coffee bar on a latte and a muffin because nobody told them there was free food available 20 feet away. A cruise ship has between 15 and 40 dining venues, depending on the line, and at any given moment during the day, at least 3 or 4 of them are serving complimentary snacks that most passengers never discover. These aren't leftover buffet scraps repackaged on a different deck. These are dedicated venues with their own menus, their own kitchens, and their own food that exists specifically for the hours between major meals. The cruise lines don't heavily promote them, because the alternative is passengers spending money at the premium coffee bars and specialty venues. The less you know about the free options, the more you spend on the paid ones. There are 12 snacks hidden across the major cruise lines sailing in 2026 that most passengers walk past, walk over, and walk around every single day without ever realizing they're there.
And snack number 9 on this list is so absurdly good that crew members on Reddit have called it the single most underrated free food on any cruise ship, beating out full meals in the main dining room. The first snack most passengers don't know exists is available around the clock on Royal Caribbean, and it's hiding inside a small venue that most passengers assume is just a coffee shop. Café Promenade on the Royal Promenade deck serves complimentary pastries, cookies, and sandwiches 24 hours a day. Not during limited hours, not only at breakfast, 24 hours. At 2 in the morning when you're coming back from the casino and your stomach is growling, Café Promenade has fresh pastries and coffee waiting for you at no charge. At 3 in the afternoon, when the buffet feels too crowded and you just want a quick bite before the pool, Café Promenade has sandwiches and cookies sitting right there. The pastries rotate throughout the day, which means the selection at 10 in the morning is different from the selection at 4 in the afternoon and different again at midnight. Most passengers walk through the Royal Promenade dozens of times during their cruise without ever stopping at this venue because it looks like a Starbucks and they assume everything costs money. It doesn't.
The specialty coffee drinks have a charge, but the drip coffee, the pastries, the cookies, and the sandwiches are all complimentary. The passengers who discover Café Promenade on day 1 use it as their go-to snack stop for the rest of the voyage, and never understand why other passengers keep complaining about being hungry between meals. The second snack is on Carnival, and it has developed one of the most devoted followings of any free food item on any cruise line: the breakfast burrito at Blue Iguana Cantina. Most passengers know Blue Iguana exists for lunch when it serves tacos and burritos by the pool. What most passengers don't realize is that it opens early in the morning and serves a completely different breakfast menu. The breakfast burrito is made to order with scrambled eggs, cheese, salsa, peppers, and your choice of fillings, rolled tight in a warm tortilla and handed to you in about 90 seconds. It's generous in size, it's packed with flavor, and it's the single best portable breakfast on any Carnival ship. You can eat it walking to the gangway on a port day, sitting by the pool on a sea day, or standing on your balcony, watching the ship pull into harbor. Cruise bloggers have called it one of the best free food items in all of cruising.
And the reason it qualifies as a snack most passengers don't know about is that the breakfast window is short. The venue doesn't look open from a distance, and most passengers have already committed to the buffet by the time they realized Blue Iguana was an option. The third snack takes us to Princess Cruises, and it involves a small venue that serves food on real china in a calm, uncrowded atmosphere that feels nothing like a cruise ship cafeteria. The International Cafe on Princess ships rotates its offerings throughout the day, serving pastries and coffee in the morning, paninis and small bites in the afternoon, and desserts and tapa-style snacks in the evening. The food is complimentary. The quality is consistently praised by Princess passengers who discover it, and the venue is almost always quiet because it's tucked away from the main traffic flow and doesn't advertise its rotating menu on the daily schedule. The afternoon paninis are the hidden gem.
pressed, warm, filled with quality ingredients, and served on real plates with cloth napkins. Most passengers are eating cold pizza at the buffet at 3 in the afternoon, while the International Cafe is serving fresh pressed paninis to the 12 people who know it exists. On Princess's Sun Princess, the International Cafe has been expanded and elevated.
As part of the ship's broader dining redesign, making it an even more compelling stop for passengers who want something between meals without fighting the buffet crowd. The fourth snack is the one that sounds too good to be true until you actually try it. Complimentary soft serve ice cream, available on virtually every major cruise line, served from machines that run all day and into the evening. Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, MSC, Princess, and Disney all have soft serve stations, usually near the pool deck, that dispense vanilla, chocolate, and sometimes a rotating seasonal flavor at no charge. The machines run from morning until late evening, and most passengers treat them as a one-time novelty on the first day and then forget they exist. Experienced cruisers use the soft serve strategically. A cone at 3 in the afternoon is the perfect bridge between lunch and dinner. A cup after the evening show is a free dessert that doesn't require sitting down in the dining room. And here's a hack that went viral on TikTok. Take a cup of soft serve back to your cabin and add the free hot chocolate mix from the beverage station to create a makeshift chocolate sundae. Or grab a cup of regular coffee from the buffet and drop a scoop of vanilla soft serve into it for a free affogato-style drink that would cost you $6 at the specialty coffee bar.
The soft serve machine is the most underused free amenity on any cruise ship because it doesn't look special enough for passengers to take seriously. It's just an ice cream machine. But the passengers who use it daily spend less money, snack better, and never have that 3 p.m. energy crash that sends everyone else to the paid coffee bar. On Caribbean and tropical itineraries, the soft serve hits differently because you're eating it poolside in 80-degree heat with the ocean behind you. That experience alone would cost you $6 at a boardwalk ice cream shop on land. And on the ship, it's unlimited, free, and available every time you walk past the pool deck. The fifth snack is on Norwegian, and it's hiding in plain sight inside a venue that most passengers associate exclusively with lunch and dinner. Oceanon's Neighborhood Bar and Grill serves food almost around the clock, and during the between meal hour, it's one of the quietest, most comfortable spots on the entire ship. The menu includes chicken wings, sliders, nachos, fish and chips, and pub-style comfort food, all complimentary, served in a relaxed atmosphere with sports on the television screens. Most passengers walk past Oceanon between meals because they assume it's closed, or they think the food costs extra during off-peak hours. It doesn't.
The kitchen runs continuously, and the food during the afternoon snack window is the same quality as the food during the dinner rush on Norwegian Aqua, which launched in April 2025. O'Sheahan's has been refreshed with an updated menu that includes new appetizer options that passengers have described as some of the best casual food on the ship. If you're on a Norwegian ship and you're hungry at 3 in the afternoon, O'Sheahan's is the answer that most passengers never find. The sixth snack is afternoon tea, and the reason most passengers miss it is that it doesn't sound like a snack. It sounds like a formal event for elderly British passengers. It's not. On Princess, Holland America, Cunard, and Celebrity, afternoon tea is a full sit-down service with finger sandwiches, warm scones with clotted cream and jam, petite fours, and a selection of premium teas. It happens between 3 and 4:30 in the afternoon. It's completely free, and the venues are almost always half empty because most passengers are at the pool or napping in their cabin. The food at afternoon tea is prepared in smaller batches than anything at the buffet, which means it's fresher and more carefully made. The scones are warm, the sandwiches are precise, the pastries are the same ones the pastry team creates for the specialty restaurants.
Cunard has built their entire brand identity partly around their afternoon tea experience, and it functions perfectly as a late afternoon snack that carries you through to dinner without needing the buffet at all. If you're cruising with a partner, afternoon tea is one of the most elegant, relaxing, complimentary experiences on the ship, and it's happening every single afternoon, while most passengers have no idea. On Disney Cruise Line, the afternoon tea equivalent happens at Cove Cafe, an adults-only lounge that serves complimentary pastries, cookies, and small bites throughout the afternoon, alongside premium coffee drinks. The pastries at Cove Cafe rival what you'd find at the bakery on Main Street in the Disney parks. And the venue is so quiet during the mid-afternoon that you might have the entire space to yourself. Parents who discover Cove Cafe while their kids are at the Oceaneer Club describe it as the most peaceful 30 minutes of their entire cruise. The seventh snack is the chips and salsa at Blue Iguana Cantina on Carnival, and this deserves its own entry, separate from the breakfast burrito, because it serves a completely different function. During lunch and afternoon hours, Blue Iguana sets out complimentary tortilla chips with fresh salsa and sometimes guacamole as a grab-and-go snack for passengers walking past.
You don't need to order a burrito or a taco. You can just grab a small container of chips and salsa and keep walking. It takes 10 seconds. It costs nothing. And it's the kind of casual between-meal bite that most passengers would pay $4 or $5 for at a bar on land. The chips are warm, the salsa is fresh, and the portion is enough to kill a craving without ruining your appetite for dinner. Most passengers don't even notice the chip station because they're focused on the main burrito line, and the ones who do discover it treat it as their daily 3 p.m. snack for the rest of the cruise. The eighth snack is the pizza at Sorrento's on Royal Caribbean, and the reason it makes this list is that most passengers think of pizza as a meal, not a snack. Sorrento's serves complimentary pizza by the slice throughout the day and into the evening, and a single slice is the perfect between-meal snack that takes 30 seconds to grab and requires zero commitment. The pizza is made fresh on board, the dough is hand-tossed, and the slices are large enough to satisfy a craving, but small enough that one slice doesn't ruin your dinner appetite. Sorrento's is positioned on the Royal Promenade, near Café Promenade, which means you can grab a slice of pizza and a free cookie in the same 60-second walk.
The passengers who figured this out have essentially created a free snack circuit on the promenade deck that they can run at any time of day, and it costs them nothing, while passengers on other decks are paying $7 for a muffin at the coffee bar. The ninth snack is the one I mentioned at the beginning, the one that crew members on Reddit have called the single most underrated free food on any cruise ship: the Coconut Ranger cookies at Park Cafe on Royal Caribbean. These chewy coconut praline cookies have developed such a cult following among repeat cruisers that Royal Caribbean actually published the recipe on their website so passengers could try to recreate them at home. Park Cafe is tucked away in the Central Park neighborhood on Oasis, Quantum, and Icon class ships, and it doesn't look like a restaurant from the outside. It looks like a small European cafe you'd stumble into on a side street in Paris. Most first-time cruisers walk right past it because it's not on the main traffic path and it doesn't have the visibility of the buffet or the dining room. But the Coconut Ranger cookies are only the beginning. Park Cafe also serves the legendary Kumawek roast beef sandwich at lunch, pressed paninis, soups, and fresh salads, all complimentary. As an afternoon snack spot, Park Cafe is unmatched on any Royal Caribbean ship.
And the passengers who discover it guard it like a secret, because low traffic is part of what keeps food so fresh and the atmosphere so peaceful. The 10th snack is on MSC, and it's one that passengers on Caribbean itineraries especially should know about. Promenade Bites on MSC World America serves complimentary hot dogs, chili dogs, and cotton candy throughout the afternoon. Hot dogs on a cruise ship sound unremarkable until you realize that most passengers are paying $8 to $12 for similar casual food at the specialty venues. The hot dogs at Promenade Bites are free. They're freshly prepared, and the cotton candy is a perfect grab-and-go treat for families with kids. MSC also has Luna Park Pizza and Burger, which serves complimentary pizza and burgers in a retro arcade-themed venue. Between these two venues, MSC World America offers a snacking ecosystem that rivals any food court on land, and every item is included in the fare. Most passengers on MSC ships default to the buffet for every snack because they don't realize these standalone venues exist on different decks. The 11th snack is the late-night room service menu, and this is the one that most passengers forget about entirely after the first day.
On Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Celebrity, and Princess, room service is available around the clock.
The late night menu includes sandwiches, cookies, fruit plates, cheese plates, and on some lines, hot items like chicken fingers or a burger. Ordering a cheese plate and a cookie to your cabin at 11:30 at night after the show costs nothing and takes about 20 minutes to arrive. It's the most private, most relaxing snack experience on the ship, and most passengers never use it because they forget room service exists after the first morning. The passengers who build room service into their daily routine use it as a late-night snack delivery system that eliminates the need to get dressed, leave the cabin, and fight the late-night buffet crowd. One phone call from your bed, and food arrives at your door. It's the most underused free service on any cruise ship, and it works just as well at midnight as it does at 7 in the morning. Some cruise lines now let you order through the app on your phone, which means you can place a late-night snack order while lying in bed watching the ocean from your balcony without even picking up the cabin phone. The food arrives in 15 to 25 minutes, and on most lines, there's no delivery charge for the standard menu items. A cheese plate, a fruit plate, 2 cookies, and a glass of milk delivered to your cabin at midnight is one of the most luxurious small pleasures available on any cruise, and it's included in the fare.
You already paid for. And the 12th snack, the one I save for last because it's the most surprising entry on this list, is the dessert station at the buffet between meals. Most passengers visit the buffet dessert station during lunch and dinner service when the standard cakes, cookies, and pies are on display. What most passengers don't know is that the dessert station is often restocked during the between-meal hours with items that don't appear during regular service. Mid-afternoon, the pastry team sometimes puts out specialty items like miniature cheesecakes, fruit tarts with pastry cream, panna cotta, chocolate truffles, and seasonal pastries that are produced in smaller batches and disappear quickly because so few passengers are in the buffet during off-peak hours. The passengers who wander through the buffet at 3 in the afternoon expecting nothing often find the best desserts of the day sitting there untouched because everyone else is at the pool. The pastry chef on a cruise ship is often the most technically trained cook in the entire galley, and their afternoon production run is when they have the most creative freedom because the pressure of a major meal service isn't competing for kitchen resources. The between-meal dessert station is where the pastry team puts out their most interesting work. And most passengers will never see it because they only visit the buffet when everyone else does. Every one of these 12 snacks exists right now on ships sailing in 2026. The 24-hour pastries at Cafe Promenade, the breakfast burrito at Blue Iguana, the afternoon paninis at International Cafe, the soft-serve machine by the pool, the pub food at Oceans, the afternoon tea with warm scones, the chips and salsa, the pizza at Sorrento's, the coconut ranger cookies at Park Cafe, the hot dogs at Promenade Bites, the late-night room service, and the between-meal dessert station, where the pastry team does their best work when nobody's watching. They've all been there, available free every single day you've ever sailed. The only reason most passengers go hungry between meals or spend money at the paid venues is because nobody told them where the free food was hiding. Now you know. Share this with whoever you're cruising with, because snacking on a cruise ship is a team sport. One person discovers the coconut ranger cookies at Park Cafe, while another finds the afternoon pastries at International Cafe. One person grabs chips and salsa at Blue Iguana, while another orders the late-night cheese plate to the cabin. When everyone in your group knows where the free snacks hide, nobody goes hungry.
Nobody spends money they didn't need to spend, and nobody wastes 30 minutes at the buffet for a bite that could have taken 30 seconds at a venue they didn't know existed. The difference between a cruise where you're constantly hungry between meals and one where you're perfectly fueled all day was never about the ship or the cruise line. It was about 12 snacks that were always there, always free, and always waiting for the passengers who knew where to look. If this changed how you think about snacking on a cruise, you're going to want to see what we found when we ranked every cruise line's food from worst to best. That video is right here. Because the best snack on the ship is never the one you pay for. It's always the one you didn't know was free.